Oh, yes. I was just thinking about that new evidence. Yes. And then the next friend, and then the next of kin, the closest relatives. The term is frequently used to describe the closest blood relations who will inherit property from a person who dies without making a will. Ooch. Then the nihil and the nihilist. Oh, nihil. Ooch. Now, I just wanted to know if I had died in the middle of winter when you kicked me out of the hospital because the hospital has a policy that after they prescribe penicillin while in flip flops after taking an ambulance, yes, that you can't sit there and wait for the bus the next day. Oh, now the first bus, yes. You know, when the homeless shelter is approximately 10,000 steps from the Safeway, must have been 12,000 steps from the hospital. Yeah, 4 miles. You can walk that. Now, these mandatory reporters, I know the city attorney, you represent those that are obligated to inform law enforcement when they have knowledge of a crime involving child abduction. Yes, child kidnapping. Abuse of children, exploitation of children. There's no possible way that the court cannot see that when the respondent isn't given notice of court hearings, yes, the petitioner's not there, doesn't acknowledge the court order, yes, that is not child abduction, it's not kidnapping. Why don't you give me the hospitals, the clinics, their communication systems, and every employee of every hospital in this nation that does know that the mandatory reporter does have to report child abduction, kidnapping, exploitation, was it Jeddah? Then there's these court rules about having court hearings where if the respondent is not given actual notice and the opportunity to be heard, yes, and the petitioner doesn't appear in court and doesn't acknowledge the court order, yes, and the court decides, well, we're going to issue it anyways, without either party at the court hearing on that day and time, that there couldn't be some sort of nefarious type of activity going on. Now, since 2011, okay, I had looked at that. Oh. Now, I'm going to need to know the definition, yes, because I provided all of the individuals in the profession of being mandatory reporters for child abduction, yes, child kidnapping, yes, anything and everything to do with child custody, yes. And then you decide to have court hearings where the fraudulent dates, yes, I didn't get any notice, yes, and you didn't have to enforce. Now I'm really feeling like I need to sue some of them. Why don't you get me the next of kin of each and every employee of every hospital, every clinic, every fire department, ouch, each and every individual in the ambulance. Ow! I'm just going to go through the employment records for the last 40 fucking years. I'm going to find every mother, every daughter, every son, every cousin, because I want to know why it is that city attorneys and district attorneys don't have to appear in court when they motion the fucking court.